Okay, hello. We're just going to have a look now at another plot against Elizabeth. It's the Ridolfi plot, and it took place in 1571. So, just as a bit of a recap, you'll recall that there'd already been a plot against Elizabeth, and that was by the Catholic Northern Earls, and that took place between 1569 and 1570. Included within that plot there was Thomas Percy and his wife, of course, and Charles Neville and his wife. In 1570, the Pope had issued a papal bull. Very amusing. That a papal bull is, of course, an order by the Pope, and in this case, it was an order to remove Elizabeth from the throne in England. So, as a result of this, obviously tensions were high in terms of how Catholics might react to this, and sort of due to the potential Catholic threat, and obviously looking at what had happened in the north already with the revolt of the earls up there, the Earl of Huntingdon was implementing laws against Catholics in the north of England. So the Catholics were getting more and more annoyed with this, and with the Pope's backing, were becoming more prepared to plot against Elizabeth. So this brings us to the plot itself, the Ridolfi plot. So Ridolfi was an Italian banker. He lived in England, but he was working as a spy for the Pope. And in 1571, as you could probably have worked out, he plotted to kill Elizabeth. He wanted to kill Elizabeth, and with the help of Philip II, he wanted to start a Spanish invasion and once again put Mary on the throne. There she is. There's the Mary Queen of Scots, but not yet Mary. So the idea being that she would then marry the Duke of Norfolk and become queen. So in 1571, Rudolfi heads off to Holland. He goes to the Netherlands, which at the time was a Spanish colony, and he met up with King Philip II of Spain, the Pope, and the Duke of Alba. And with him, Ridolfi took a letter. That letter was from the Duke of Norfolk, and it stated in the letter that he was Catholic and he would be willing to lead a rebellion against Elizabeth if he had Philip II's support. So the plot thickens. Norfolk says he's willing to lead a rebellion if Philip II supports him, and Philip agrees, and he instructs Alba to get 10,000 troops ready for an invasion. However, as ever with these Catholic plots, William Cecil finds out about it, and this is in the autumn of 1571, and as a result, Norfolk was arrested for high treason. Parliament called for the execution of Norfolk, and they also called for the execution of Mary Queen of Scots. They knew that she was involved, and they wanted her executed. And if you get rid of Mary, you're kind of getting rid of this, a big part of this Catholic problem. Now, Elizabeth signed Norfolk's death warrant, and he was executed in June 1572. But she was reluctant to sign Mary's. In fact, she didn't, and she didn't even remove her from the succession. So just to finish with them, we're going to look at why the Ridolfi plot was significant and why it was important. So one factor from it came out that it confirmed further that there was indeed a threat from Spain. Philip II was prepared to invade, and the Ridolfi plot further confirmed that fear. So this Spanish threat meant that England needed to help. They needed help, so they needed to improve relations with France. It would be difficult for Elizabeth and in England to fight Spain alone, so they needed that support. And obviously, Catholics remained a threat. Yep. So as a result of the plot, the government monitored Catholics more closely and treated them more severely. 2 laws were passed in 1581, which meant that families could be fined for sheltering priests, and they could be charged for treason if they converted people to Catholicism. So that kind of rounds off the Ridolfi plot. The next video we'll look at would be the Throckmorton plot. Thank you.